Life Over the Road, a community that champions adventure, innovation, and well-being.
Welcome to Enjoying Life OTR. My name is Cindy Tunstall, and I am excited for you to meet our first guest. Her name is Melinda Fox Wellington. In this episode, she shares a medical diagnosis that literally scared her healthy. She shares some tips that helped her to lose 60 pounds last year. Truly incredible. Melinda has been a company driver for the past 3 years, and she's currently driving a 53-foot dry van. She's traveling all over the United States and truly loving being over the road. She is a true adventurer. Her story is very inspiring, and I can't wait for you to meet her. Well, welcome to the show, Melinda. I'm so glad to have you.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure.
Well, I've been looking forward to talking with you because I just really enjoy the way that you make the most of your opportunity to travel, and I know that you've had a really great experience with some weight loss journey, and I think that's will be very encouraging, inspiring to our audience. So I'm looking forward to them getting to hear your story. Well, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about what you used to do before trucking? I said in the intro that you've been trucking for about 3 years. So what was your career before you came into the industry?
I did right around 25 years in the medical field in a variety of settings, from a medical assistant in the civilian world to a combat medic in the Army. I also taught medical assisting, phlebotomy, EKG, and I was a director of a vocational school for allied health.
Oh, wow. You've got a big variety of work there. So you were did you say that you were in the Army?
Yes, I was. I was a combat medic in the Army for almost 10 years.
Oh, wow. And how long ago was that?
Early 2000s.
Oh, wow.
And I got out in 2013.
Well, so tell me about your transition into trucking. That's a very different career path that you're on now, that you're in a over-the-road trucker. So tell me about that journey. How did you get into this field?
My husband and I, we have a triple axle fifth wheel toy hauler RV. And I asked him several times to teach me how to drive it. And he would frequently say no. And he was sick one time, and I said, this is why I need to know how to drive the RV. And he's like, I'm never going to teach you how to drive the RV. I like you too much, and if I had to teach you, I would either get divorced or I'd kill you.
I get that.
And yeah, so at least he liked me too much for it.
I know, it was for the good of the relationship.
Exactly. About a week after we had that last conversation, I happened to drive by a truck driving school, and I just whipped into the parking lot and went in and saw if they had evening and weekend classes, because at the time I was still working Monday through Friday, and they did. So I enrolled using my GI benefits.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he wasn't interested in teaching you to drive, so you just went and got it handled on your own?
Yeah. That's exactly what I did. It's like, fine, you say never, then I'll go somewhere else to find out how to drive it. And while I was driving it, while I was going through school, I was like, man, this is fun. But I had my license for over a year before I even considered actually becoming a truck driver.
Oh, wow. So you really just got your license so you could drive your RV. That was your only motivation to get the CDL. Wow. So how about that transition? How did you transition from that point to becoming a truck driver full-time?
I reached complete burnt out in the medical field. It just lost its passion. It became more about what will the insurance cover, not what does the patient need. How many patients can we get through the door? You're spending too long answering questions. You need to hustle them through. And I just lost the passion for it. And I just reached complete burnout.
Yeah, wow. So what did your family think when you mentioned the idea that you might start driving a truck full time? How'd that conversation go?
They were pretty much like, well, another wild hair from Melinda. 'Cause I went from civilian medical to a combat medic to, civilian medical to teaching to director of a vocational school. I'm a firm believer, if you don't like what you're doing, there's so many options out there. Just find something else and do it. And my family knows that's just how I am.
Yeah, life is short, right? We got to make the most of it.
Yes, absolutely.
So tell us about the type of work that you're doing now. What kind of, what are you driving and what kind of freight are you hauling?
I do drive a semi-tractor-trailer combo 53-foot dry van. I have done reefer also, and right now I'm doing over the road, so I have a huge variety of freight. My favorite is when I get to go out to the country and see the horses while I'm getting loaded up full of hay, or actually see how the farms pack the produce goes to the grocery stores. And it's been an educational job. I'm just thoroughly enjoying it, except for when I absolutely hate it, but that's a different story.
Yeah, that happens.
Yes. I figure as long as I love it more than I hate it, then I'm still good.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. So what are your favorite parts about this type of work? You enjoy traveling over the road, or how's that been going for you?
I truly love this lifestyle. I get to go to different states. When my clock runs out, I get to rent a car and explore. I have a puppy now, so that's been an adjustment these last couple of months.
Yeah, I can't imagine that training a puppy when you've been on the road. That's been going okay?
She does great when the truck is in motion. She sleeps, but as soon as she hears the brakes pop, she wants to get up and play, and I'm like, I gotta go check in. You need to wait, So it's definitely an adjustment.
So tell me about some of the adventures that you've taken over the road. You mentioned that you sometimes will rent a car. What's that been like? Have you been able to do any fun exploring while you're on your break?
Yes, I've gotten to go to a couple of historic sites. I've got to do some hiking trails. I really enjoy nature. Got to check a huge item off my bucket list and got to go to the Grand Canyon.
Oh, wow. Well, how was that when you were in the truck? How'd that work?
I parked the truck at a truck stop. Google's my best friend. And Google showed me where a rent-a-center was in the area I happened to be in. And so I called them up and said, hey, I'm going to be in town, shut down for a day. Do y'all have a rental car? And luckily they did. And we were able to go explore. It was a lot of fun.
I haven't been to the Grand Canyon as an adult. I went as a child, but I haven't been. What's it like? What are the things that you got to do while you were there? Did they let you go down into the canyon, or you just... I always see people, taking their pictures up from the top. Did you go hiking down, or what did you do for the day?
I did not go hiking down. That's more of the South Rim. I went to the West Rim. That's where they have the Skywalk.
Oh, nice.
So I was able to go onto the Skywalk, and you walk out, and the whole bottom of it is glass. So you're looking straight down.
That must have been gorgeous. Did you get some great pics?
I did get some really good pictures and got to explore a lot of different areas on the West Rim, and it was just... If you get a chance to just sit there and pause and just see how massive, I can imagine what an ant would feel like. It's just...
I'm sure it's breathtaking.
It really puts things into perspective that, you got these daily irritants, and then you see something that massive, and it's just like, it really is just not as irritant as it seems at the time,
What a great way to spend your day off. Oh my gosh. sounds incredible. What are some other things that you've been able to do while you're on the road?
See, I got to go in New York. I got to eat my first Reuben sandwich, and it was really good.
Oh, fun.
Yes, I do have family that lives throughout the United States, family and friends. So I'll call them up and say, hey, I'm passing through town. Are you available? And they all know. If they're not available, they'll just let me know, and we'll try to catch each other on the next one. Yes.
Well, tell me about some of the challenges that you faced while on the road. Has it been all fun?
Of course not. Yeah, there's definitely been lots of challenges, from breakdowns to having two strange guys knocking on my door telling me to get out of the truck. And
What?
I was at a truck stop, and I backed up and did my post trip and pulled my curtains, getting ready for bed, and I was just fixing to get in bed. So I was there a good 15, 20 minutes, and two guys come knocking on my door, and they're like, hey, you need to come in the back. And at
You're like, I don't think so.
Yeah, at truck stops, a lot of the trucks, they back the back end of the trailer and the back end of the trailer, back to back. And it's dark back there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. And they're like, well, we're going to call the police because you hit us. And I'm like, that's fine. Go ahead and call the police. I said, I'm on the phone right now, and I was calling the actual store at the truck stop to see if they had a manager that came out to go back there with me. And she was able to. And they did have damage. And long story short, they were skimming, and it was old damage.
Oh my gosh, they're so crazy. And they hung around when you said you were going to call the police?
They were the ones that were saying that they were going to call the police, but I didn't get out of my truck. And
You're
I'm like, well, that's
"Go
fine. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Crazy. People are crazy. Well, I'm glad you were
Yeah.
careful, and I'm glad it worked out. It's terrible to have to worry about that. People taking advantage while you're on the road. It's not good. Well, I shared in the intro, Melinda, that you've had a really interesting weight loss journey. I think you had shared that you had lost like 60 pounds since you've been driving. Is that right?
Yeah, so my first 9 months of driving, I gained quite a bit of weight.
I think that's true for a lot of us when we start driving. Put on a little weight. It's quite an adjustment.
Also diagnosed with prediabetes.
Oh, wow.
And my aunt passed away at an early age from diabetes, and so I say that the diagnosis scared me healthy.
Oh, wow. She was 48, you said?
Yeah, she was young.
Yeah, that's crazy. So what happened? So when did you get the diagnosis for prediabetes yourself? When was that? Was it after you were trucking, or was that prior to?
Yes.
When?
It was after I was trucking. I started trucking in March of 19. And I got the diagnosis in October of 19.
Oh, wow.
And from October to December, I tried using all the traditional dietary methods that the medical field, teaches us, and that I taught tons of patients.
Yeah. What were you doing, counting calories or what?
Yeah, count the calories, reduce the carbs, eat more fruits and veggies.
Yeah.
But it wasn't working between the truck driving and not able to cook all my meals, and I was struggling big time. And so I decided to, another volunteer at my butt, I decided to enroll in health coaching school. And I figured as I was learning the tips, tricks of the trade, I will convert them over to the truck driving lifestyle.
Oh, wow. How'd that go?
That went really well. I started in January of 2020.
Okay.
And in the year of 2020, I drove over 125,000 miles. I lost over 60 pounds. And most importantly, I lost my prediabetes diagnosis.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. Congratulations, Melinda. That's really wonderful. So tell me about the changes. You said you were doing traditional methods of counting calories and, watching carbs and all that, and that wasn't working. So what switched for you? So what made a big difference and made you start turning it around? Could you share some tips with us? Because we're all interested now.
Yes, some of the things that helped the most for me was just learning to pause and see if I really wanted the item or if it was just mindless munching or if it was just emotional craving. I'll go into the store and I love gummy worms. That's like one of my weaknesses. And I never tell myself I can't have it because then my inner rebel will be like, yeah, right, watch this, and then I'll binge off of it.
Yeah, I get that. Don't tell me what to do. I'll eat a gummy worm if I want to.
So what I do now is I'll go over there to the gummy worm and pull a package out. And then I'll look at the sugar, how much added sugar is in there, and I'll be like, now, is this worth it? Do you really want it? And is it really worth it? 9 times out of 10, nope, and I'll put it right back on the shelf. And every once in a while, I'll be like, yeah, I really want it today, and I'll go ahead and get it. But 9 times out of 10, I'll just put it back on the shelf and walk away.
Wow, that's incredible. Even just taking that few minutes makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. Another thing is, we're taught it's all or nothing. And I learned through health coaching, it's not all or nothing. Sometimes it's what is your best option in the situation where you're at.
Nice. Well, that's an easy change I think that we could all incorporate, and hopefully we will have the similar success. Well, tell us what else. Do you like working out, or is exercise your thing, or you said you do some hiking?
Well, yeah, I love to hike, but that's more of trying to think of the word, where it soothes the soul.
Yeah, my hiking is more like a casual stroll.
Yeah. But, just being around the nature is just very calming, very soothing. It replenishes me more than actual exercise.
So do you work out, or what else did you do to, 60 pounds is a lot. So, what else did you do? Any other tips?
I do stretch twice a day in the truck just to kind of get, the bones moving and the muscles moving. I walk. I did do some jogging, but I even did 1 month. I had a goal of 100 miles of jogging, and I completed it, but it wasn't that fun. I didn't like Most of the time, it's just more of not an exercise regimen, but how can I move my body more? My body's made to move with the muscles and the ligaments and the tendons, and it makes them happy to move. So how can I incorporate more movement into my day, more so than, oh my God, I have to exercise for an hour?
I like that. That's a good way to think of it. It doesn't seem so painful that way. Like to do an hour of cardio and get your heart rate up, and that seems like a big chore and you don't want to start. You're tired after a drive, or you're going to have a long day. It's like you end up saying no before you even get started. Well, I do at least.
Exactly. And then actually, with me being in the military, I had a very strong, which I learned this through the health coaching school. Because, before you can become one, you have to know you have to go through the process yourself.
Oh, good.
And I found out that I had a very strong negative association just with the word exercise.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And that's why I like using the term, exactly. And that's why I like to use the term movement, because it just completely has that mindset shift to it.
Yeah, very subtle, but I could see where that could be helpful. I try to do that too. I'm like, I just need to move my body, and it doesn't seem like such a demanding thing that I'm asking of myself. It sounds like, yeah, that's healthy. I would enjoy that. That's good for my body. That's good for my soul. And yeah, I think that's important. The way that you talk about it is makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It really does. My sister, she's like, that's just, you're just doing wordplay. You're just playing with words and changing. And I'm like, but it works. So what does it matter?
Right, I agree. I've had those conversations with people too. The words that you speak out of your mouth make a big difference. It's incredible how even just to hear ourselves talk about different issues, it makes a big difference. So I think that's important. Those little things to watch the way we talk, or like say I can't lose weight. I mean that's so. You're pretty much shooting yourself in the foot, and you're not going to do it. So it's like if you talk about it in a different way, I can make a small change that's going to make a big impact on my life. I mean that's a little thing to say, but it really does, your actions kind of follow through with that. I agree with that, what you're saying.
Exactly.
Words matter.
Well, I called this past few years, and I'm still on it, and I will be on it for the rest of my life. I'm not on a diet. I'm not to lose weight. I am on a healthier me journey.
Oh, I like that. Healthier me journey. I like that. I need to get on that journey as well. I like that.
Because a journey, just think when you go on a road trip, or, like me working in the truck, it's a journey. Each day I go a little bit further. Some days I can go almost 700 miles. Some days I'm only going to get 300 miles in. It's a journey.
Yeah, that's good. I like that mindset. That's a good mindset. That's helpful. I like that a lot. Well, how often are you able to get back home to family? I know you're from Texas, right? That's where your home base is?
Yes, it is. During the winter, I was going home, out 12 days, going home 2 days, just to try to keep me out of the north as much as possible.
Yeah.
I'm a Southern girl. What can I say?
I think we can all tell you're a Southern girl. Me as well. Kind of slips out.
Exactly. But now that it's warming up and spring's coming, I'll probably play with different scenarios to see which way I'm liking it best. With the company that I'm with now, every 6 days out, you get 1 day off.
Okay.
And then if you're out 28 days, then you get 5 days off.
Oh, nice. I like that. So you get the choice of how to work out the rhythm that works best for you. They're pretty flexible with that?
Yes, they're very flexible with it. Their number one priority is to get you home when you put in your request to be home. My truck broke down in the East Coast, and they actually got me a rental car so I can go home for my approved time at home.
Oh, wow. That's
while
awesome.
My truck was in the shop. And they gave me the choice to fly or to drive home in a rental car. And I chose to drive home in a rental car due to COVID. And I have family members that have medical issues. And I didn't want to expose myself any more than what I had to because of them.
Yeah, we're driving a truck all by ourselves all the time. They're going to put you in an airplane where you're packed in with all those people. That would feel risky, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm over COVID. I'm ready for life to get back to normal. I don't know what that looks like anymore. I can't hardly remember, but anyway. But I'm glad. It sounds like you have a great company.
It is. It really, no company's perfect. There are days that I'm absolutely cussing them out, but when you pause and look at the big picture, they are a very good company, and I've overall been very happy with them.
Well, good. It sounds like it's working out good. I like that, even that mindset that not any situation is perfect. Have you ever thought about going out on your own, being an owner-operator? Has that ever crossed your mind?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. That's actually how I ended up with this company. So before I started driving with this company, I was working with another one, which was absolutely wonderful as a beginner company, and they taught me so much, and I really enjoyed the team that I worked with. But it was a regional dedicated account, so I would go from the distribution center and go to 7 stores, and that was all I did.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm really enjoying this lifestyle. I want to get my own truck. but I need to experience over the road before I drop down that much money.
Yeah. It is a little bit of money.
Over the road might be completely different, and I just might absolutely hate it and not want to do this anymore.
Yeah. Good idea. That's smart.
So I transferred over to this company that I'm with now. I've been with them since October, doing over the road.
Nice.
And like nine times out of 10, I'm just really, I do have the funds to get the truck, and I already have my LLC
Nice.
and my business bank account set up. But with the fuel prices shooting up and stuff, I think I'm just going to research a little bit more and take my time finding a truck and see what happens with these fuel prices.
Yeah, and the truck prices now are so crazy too, so that might be a good time to wait. Like, there's always tomorrow.
Exactly.
And it sounds like you have a good company, so you're still learning, you're still getting to enjoy the travel, so sounds like it might be a good plan.
Absolutely. I will definitely stay with this company until I get my truck, my own truck.
Hey, Melinda, are there any tools or, apps that you use on the truck or products that you're using inside the truck that are making life easier on the road? Anything you want to share with us?
Yes, actually, I have several apps that I use pretty frequently. One of my favorite ones, it's called All Trails.
What is it? Say it
And
again.
what it is?
All Trails?
All Trails, yes. ALLTRAILS. It's for hiking trails.
Oh, nice.
So when you open it up, it will automatically pick up your top trails that are nearby, or you could go into the settings and find like a short trail. But I like using it because you can also enter a city, and then it will tell you the top trails in that city. So when I know a 34 is coming up, I try to find trip plans where I'm going to end up being, and then I'll jump on the app and see where the trails are. And then I go back to Google Maps to see if I can find somewhere to park the semi near one of the trails that I picked that I want to try out.
Very nice. I love that. And how great when you have the dog on the truck with you. The two of you can go for a hike.
Yes. It tells you if the trails are dog friendly or not, because some are not. It tells you if you have a stroller, or a wheelchair, because, there are some drivers that have wheelchairs, and it will tell you if it's wheelchair friendly or not. So it's really cool. And it'll tell you how the difficulty level and how long the trail is and all that good stuff. I just love the app. Let's see, what's another one that I really enjoy? Oh, Bring Fido, since I have a puppy now.
What is that? Tell me about that one. I haven't heard of that one.
So this one is you enter in your destination, and it tells you places where you can stay, play, restaurants where you can eat with your dog. It tells you all the dog-friendly
Are you
places
serious?
in that destination. Yeah.
Wow, that is so smart. Oh, it's like, I should have thought of that. I love that. That's so clever. Oh my gosh. Nice.
So it has hotels, restaurants, activities, events, services, photos, and destinations for the location that you enter in.
Okay, I know a lot of people travel with their dogs, so tell them what the app is called again.
It's called Bring Fido.
Bring Fido. Okay, awesome. Wow, I love that. Those are two good tips. Okay, anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
No, I think that's pretty good. Most of the other apps that I use on a daily basis is just the typical Trucker Path, Highway Weather. Highway Weather is a really cool one for trip planning.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
And how about cooking on the truck? Do you do much cooking on the truck, or?
I do not like to actually cook on the truck because the odors tend to stay in it when you cook fresh. I do a lot of meal prepping when I go home. I do eat a lot of the healthier alternative, quote-unquote, TV dinners. And then what else do I usually eat?
What kind of stuff do you meal prep? Will you cook when you're on your break and then take stuff Frozen or what? What do you mean meal prep?
Yeah, so I do have a 12-volt plug-in freezer that has a compressor in it, so it keeps everything actually frozen.
Oh, nice.
I even put ice cream in it sometimes because I like my ice cream too.
Yeah.
But during the winters, I'll do a lot of stews, chilies, and then during the summers, I'll do a lot of smoothies, so I keep a lot of frozen fruit in there.
Oh, nice.
It just depends on what the season is.
Yeah.
I also, the salad kits that you get,
Yeah.
you know, it has the salad, chopped salad in it, and it already has the dressing and the cheese and whatever type of kit it happens to be.
Yeah.
I'll eat one of those a day.
Oh, nice. Get some greens. Get your veggies.
Yes. So
Yeah,
it makes it
easy.
convenient because you can dump it all in the bag, shake the bag up, and then you can dump the bag into a 32-ounce tumbler cup, and then just eat it out of the cup.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I love that. That's a great idea. Yeah, it makes it easy. There are a lot of good options out now so that we can help us to make healthier choices when we're on the road. It's good. I like
Yes.
that.
Definitely having the freezer has been one of my biggest investments, but it's for my health, and I think it was totally worth it.
Yeah, that's good. Well, thanks, Melinda. I sure appreciate all the tips you shared with us. You have a lot of great ideas, and I love the way that you approach life, and just doing great out there. So thanks so much for being on the show. We sure appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and I hope to have you on again. Well, be safe out there.
Absolutely.
Hey, don't forget to check out our community at elotr.com. It's a social media network just for truckers. So make some notes, share your ideas, leave reviews, and post lots of pictures. We want to hear about the many ways that you are enjoying life over the road. I do need your help with something, seriously. This community is only going to work if others participate. So please tell other people about the website. Another way that you can help us spread the word is to leave a review where you listen to this podcast. Reviews are really important because when people leave reviews, that host will automatically start recommending our show to other people. And we need more drivers to hear about the podcast and the website so our community will be full of great ideas, photos, suggestions, all from great drivers just like you. So don't forget, like, subscribe, share our show, and please, if you would, leave us a review. Thanks so much. I sure appreciate you. Be safe out there, and by all means, enjoy the journey.